result of that, the chariots destroyed the Dryads, overran into the building. Apparently, you don't take impact hits if you hit a building. That's what the judge, the tournament organizer, came over and ruled in terms of the rules question there. The archers have moved directly in front of the Treeman just to slow the Treeman down before the Treeman inevitably ends up with one of my big infantry blocks there. And yeah, he's just moved his forest ever so carefully forward. He's got a BSB in the middle of the forest, and the reason the BSB is there is to prevent the Treeman from failing his combat, from losing combat to a big infantry block, and then failing his stubborn roll. He needs a reroll against that. That's why he's got the BSB there in the forest. Next picture, just a better view. You can see that the Treeman's not actually in combat with the archers yet. I've moved the archers deliberately forward so that when the Treeman attacks them, he'll have to overrun, and hopefully he won't make it to the next unit of guys, and I can just move them in front of the Treeman and keep slowing the Treeman down turn by turn by turn, and maybe keep them there for the rest of the game if I keep the skeletons alive. And also the Scorpion's taken some wounds, I think, from a spell or something like that, or the Treeman's shooting attack. Next picture, okay, next turn for the Treeman, for the Wood Elves, and they charge the skeleton archers as expected. No way the archers can hold them up for even a turn. They're going to die in one round, so then it'll be overrun. And as you can see just from the lineups, the Treekin are actually going to overrun past the archers. They're not going to run into the archers, they're going to run past them, probably into the skeleton warriors. But as this next photo demonstrates, they didn't actually roll high enough to get straight into combat, so that's another turn where they won't be in combat. So for my next turn, I'll just move forward ever so slightly and prevent them from doing anything else. And over the left-hand side, the Tomb Guard are just waiting and waiting for the enemy to show up. And my right-hand flank is completely clear. The problem is, because of his stupid forest in the middle of the table, I can't really move in and flank charge it with all of my chariots. Now, one potential plan I could have done is to charge the Treeman with the Chariot of Fire with the Prince. That would be my other flaming attack available. And I didn't go for that because I didn't consider myself lucky enough to do it. The potential was that he'd wipe out the chariots as well, and that's a good 400 points with the Prince in it. And at this point in the game, I was really considering just sort of calling it quits and trying to conserve as many points as I could. Next photo, all of the chariots are moving around just to prevent the Dryads from moving in range. The Scorpions charged the cavalry, really luckily because he accidentally moved them too far, so the Scorpion was going to do very well. Killed two of the riders, but he fluffed his... he didn't fluff them. He did a really good job attacking back and actually managed to kill the Scorpion with a combat raise. He had a war banner in that unit as well. And the Treeman and Treekin are now in combat with the... almost in combat with the dudes, the skeletons. Yeah, next photo you can just see a better picture of what's going on around that particular side of the battlefield. Looking pretty cool. Yeah, very nice looking game, but didn't really feel very nice to play this guy. Didn't really feel like I could do anything about his Treeman Ancient except for that first Skelepult shot, but I missed it. So let's go to the next picture. I've actually brought the King over to the Archers unit because I was planning on actually magic moving them into the Treekin as a last resort, and then breaking them and moving into the Treeman, but I aborted that plan later on. As you can see, the Tomb Guard are getting charged by everybody here, all of the riders, and they're going to get massacred. There's no way I can win that combat, and they're going to overrun off the board, and the Dryads are closing in. You might notice that some of the terrain's actually missing. Everybody else on the hall were packing up because it was the end of the day, end of the last round. So some of the terrain's getting taken away because they needed to pack it up. Next photo, yeah, the King has left the Archer unit because I didn't want to give him the points for the King. The King's joined the Casket of Souls crew instead. The Treeman's still duking it out with the Skeleton Warriors, but I'm managing to replenish them fairly well. The Treeman's actually taken a wound as well. One lucky Skeleton Warrior actually managed to wound him, so that was nice. If only I could get 3 wounds and half points him. Next picture, all the Wild Riders are returning from pursuing not pursuing the Tomb Guard, but overrunning off the board. They're just getting back on. The only thing they'll be able to do is just charge back to their own table quarter to secure some table quarter objectives. And my chariots are just sitting there securing, sides of their own. And yeah, just the 2 combats. The Dryads are finally charging the Archers on the hill. They'll be able to destroy them very easily. Next photo, let me say a few things about this photo because it was probably one of the craziest, most insane events in the entire tournament. One thing I forgot to point out in my game against the Vampire Count, because I didn't get all the photos done, is that I fire the Skelepult at his group of Wraiths because the Scullipult can damage them very effectively. And the Scullipult missed, and the scatter dice pointed the rock 6 inches in the wrong direction, and it actually landed on the head of my nearby prince instead, killing my prince. That happened in the Vampires Count game. Now let me tell you what happened in this particular instance. I fired my Scullipult at the Dryads, the middle Dryad. You can see there's a group of 7 of them. Look at the one that's right in the ring of Dryads there, the blue Dryads, right in the center. Scullipult landed directly on his face, but rolled the scatter dice. He went 6 inches directly towards the Treeman, Ancient. Directly towards him and landed on him. Unexpectedly, like 1 in a billion chance of that happening. So we had to work out whether it was exactly fully covering him or what, or how to work it out in terms of the rules. So we went over to the tournament organizer. He came over to our table. He sat down with a ruler and he just did it perfectly. He just spent about 5 or 10 minutes just working out exactly where the catapult hit. Then he gave us a set of rules as to how to work it out. He told us to randomize the hits between the skeletons and the Treeman and the Treekin standing next to him. And I rolled all of the dice. Didn't kill the Treeman Ancient after all of that, but I wiped out all the rest of his Treekin, and the skeletons only took like 1 casualty. So that was just the craziest, flukiest, what the fuck kind of moments in the tournament. Netted the points for his Treekin as a result of that. It would have been hilarious if I destroyed the Treeman Ancient at the last minute, picking up a battle point for his general, like an extra point towards generalship, and netting about 600 points, 600 or 700 victory points just from that. So that would have actually won the game for me had I rolled a few extra lucky dice there. Amazing. Next photo, very blurry, but you can see me just sort of capturing table quarters and nothing really going on there, so I'm just going to skip this photo. It's a terrible photo anyway. And that was actually the last photo of the tournament anyway, so I actually lost this game fairly convincingly, and you know, what could I have done? What could I have done except deploy better and kill the Treeman Ancient with luckier shot? That's all I really felt like I could have done, so didn't have much fun against this guy, but I had a great time in general throughout the entire tournament, and really looking forward to playing in the next tournament, and looking forward to starting my High Elves army next week, and I'll let you guys know how that goes. See you later.